How's it going, Top Forest TV? My name is Jack, and welcome to my preview for the Sheffield United match taking place tomorrow night at the City Ground in the Championship. So yeah, Sheffield United are on exactly the same amount of points, same wins, same draws, same losses. So based on the league positioning, league standing, you would expect it to be a close run thing. One big sort of thing that people are talking about for tomorrow night's game is the fact that Max Lowe is eligible to play, obviously, on loan from Sheffield United, so can't play in that one, which is a real shame because, obviously, him and Spence have been absolutely superb, real shining lights for us. Lowe, there's I think it's called Football League World. I don't know, I think there might be a magazine or something. I don't know. I follow them on Twitter. That's basically how I know who they are. And Max Lowe's in the vote for their fans' Player of the Month. So he's getting the recognition he deserves. He's been really good. I think a lot of Forest fans, including myself, really hype Spence up more because Lowe just sort of does the job and does it so solid that you don't really. Well, I don't really, you don't really notice him, but that's not a bad thing because he's doing his job. He's getting up and down. He's putting in solid performances, and he is doing the trick, and that's what you want from a player like Lowe. So we're going to miss him. We're going to miss him bombing up and down that left hand side, creating width, putting balls in like you did see for Grabman's goal against Cardiff, for Brennan's goal against Blackpool, just to name a few. It's going to be a real shame that he can't play. There's been a few Forest pages sort of tweeting or posting about who fans would play over him, which is obviously a fair question because, we want to see what the fans are expecting. But some of the things I've seen, some of them I'd say are a bit outrageous, and some of them I would say they might make sense, but when you really think about it, it's kind of... It would A, never happen, and B, makes no sense to actually do it if you really give it some thought. Like I've seen, an example of that would be, I've seen people say, I've seen one comment say we should go to a 4-4-2 and put McKenna at left back. Like, why would that ever happen? I mean, Cooper likes a 5 at the back. He likes... his 3 centre-backs. Why would you surrender a centre-back to play left-back? I can't get the fact that he's left-footed, but it's sort of changing the whole style, the whole setup, everything that we've, instilled, or that they've installed in the players over the weeks he's been here. And he's just going to change it all for one game. I just don't particularly see that really happening. And McKenna out at a left-back, I don't know if he's ever done that before. Obviously, he's a naturally left-sided centre-back, so it kind of makes sense a little bit like that. He's on his favourite side, he is left-footed, but for me, you can't play him out at left-back. He's got to stay in that 3. I think we've got a system going there that you don't really want to change. So, maybe it makes sense, but you can't really do that. All of this is coming because they don't want Bong to play. And I know Bong's a bit of a meme in the Forest fan base, and there's people saying, I'd rather play a blind man in a wheelchair than Bong, and that sort of thing. But I don't really think he's as bad as some people make out, to be honest with you. Okay, I know he's not great by any stretch of the imagination, and he shouldn't be playing sort of at this level at the moment, but he can fill in for a game. It's one game, He's got a 3 centre-back sort of line up alongside him, so they can sort of help out a bit defensively. You can allow one to be drawn out a little bit to sort of cover Bong when the other 2 can sort of fill in as if they were playing sort of like a 2 centre-back partnership, if you will. So you can have that which can back you up defensively. He's not got as much defensive responsibility as he would playing as a left back, so he'll be able to go forward a bit more and not have to really worry too much about him coming back. So it's not the end of the world. But then when I said outrageous, I saw someone say to play Zinkernagel at left wing back. I don't know if they're being serious or whether they're sort of doing it as a joke just because Bong is so memed and so sort of disliked by Forest fans. But to play like a right winger at left wing back just makes no sense to me. I mean, I don't know if he's ever played wing back before. I don't know whether he's got any experience of being a wing back on the left hand side as opposed to the right hand side that he usually plays on as a forward or a attacking winger. You know, it just makes that to me it's ridiculous. I think Bong, as poor as he's been and as disliked as he is by Forest fans and as memed as he is by Forest fans, I think for one game it's not going to be too bad. I don't think he'll be that bad. I mean, I say that, cut to me, actually I'm unable to watch the game tonight, which is a real shame, but cut to, fans saying, oh, Bong, he was the reason why we lost 12-0 because he made 45 mistakes in the space of 10 minutes for 2 goals. You know what I mean? That's obviously ridiculously out of proportion, but, I don't think he'll be too bad. And like I say, with the lack of, the sort of less defensive responsibility and more cover alongside him, it won't be as bad as some people are making out, I don't think. Really, in terms of that. But, Sheffield United aren't a bad side. Obviously a team who were in the Premiership last season before. They've got some really decent players. Ben Osborne, as we know all about him. Love Benny Osborne at his time at the City Ground. Will always be loved for that goal against Derby. And he might not have been the best player technically, but he wore his heart on his sleeve and he really just gave his all. For the club, and that's what you love to see. He's done really well this season. Actually, he's been really, really well. Done really, really well. Been really, really good. Been one of their better players. I'm not sure what website it was that rated him this, but I know that he'd been given a 7.0 this season by one of the sort of websites that look into, or accounts that look into the Championship. So, we obviously got to keep an eye on him. Jack Robinson, somebody we know again who played for us. McGoldrick played for us before. It's a bit of there's a joke I saw on Twitter of them being a Forest B team. I wouldn't quite call them a Forest B team, but they do have, a couple of players that we've had before. But no, they've got some good players. Billy Sharp, someone that, as old as he gets in this league, he's someone that you've got to be wary of. Someone that we obviously had on loan for a period a couple of years ago. Someone that just in this division knows how to score goals. He knows where to be. He's sort of I won't call him a Lewis Grabban. I mean, Lewis Grabban is a type of striker who doesn't always need that pace, doesn't always need that energy, but can just know where to be. And I'd say Billy Sharp is like that. They're different styles of players, but they are similar in that sort of way that they're not like an explosive striker, like a Michael Owen who, as he got older, lost his pace, lost sort of the effect he could have on a game. Those two just know where to be, know where the back of the net is, and know how to score goals. So you got to keep an eye out for him. They've got Premier League. Some of the players are kind of Premier League quality. They've got Rhian Brewster up front, who a few Forest fans that I know do want us to try and get him in. He hasn't had the best sort of time at Sheffield United so far under either Wilder or Jukanovic. So we all know that means he's going to back a hat trick against Forest. Just how it goes. But no, he's still a good striker. You saw what he did under Cooper. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to bring him in, because we saw what he did under Cooper and how he fired Swansea to Pipples in the playoff race a couple of seasons back. So you got to keep your eye on him. You got to watch out for him. It's not going to be easy, but I think we can. Keep a little lid on him if we are at our A game. But really good draw on Friday night. I think it's really going to breed more confidence, keep us going, keep us feeling that sense of belief, that sense of unbeatableness, if that's even a word. Definitely not a word, but we move. That feeling that we are unbeatable and we can keep just progressing and going again if we go behind. I'm really, really looking forward to this one. I'm confident. I'm feeling confident, I think we've got 2 games this week at home, and I think 6 points minimum. Well, I wouldn't say minimum, but 6 points are expected from the 2 games. I'm going to go with a Forest 2-0 win. I'm going to go 2-0 Forest. I think lineup's going to be very similar, if not the same, bar low for me. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go the same lineup that we did see on Friday night, but obviously Bong instead of Low. In terms of goal scorers for me, I'd love to see Lolly score. I think he looked really good before he got taken off against QPR, getting in good spaces, had a shot that just went wide. You know, I think in this system he can really flourish and be back to the best that we saw sort of under Sabri. You know, I do believe that he is sort of on that way back. And I'm going to go with Graben with another goal. So I'm going to go with Lolly and Graben to get the 2 goals for me. But I think it's a good chance, a good opportunity to beat a team that aren't doing badly in the Championship. Obviously, it's a similar area to us in the league, so I think it's going to be. Sorry about that. I think it's going to be a. It's going to be an interesting game, but I do believe it's a good opportunity for us to get another 3 points at home.